Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It's the In Wheel Time car show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place today. Coming to you from Studio A in Texas, USA. Next week at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In. But this is this week. Next week is next week. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday. Thanks so much. Got a very interesting guest I want to get to. His name is Dave O'Neill. Dave, good morning to you, and thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Good morning. Nice to be with you.
Well, when I read all of the stuff that you sent us, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. These guys are offering a service for guys that are into racing that really don't have necessarily a full-time pit crew, garage, mechanics, guys that change the tire, a complete operation that you can take to the racetrack, and here they are. Esses Racing and Support. Am I right?
You're 100% correct, yes.
So I've got to get the background story. I think it's a brilliant idea because, you know, let's face it, most of the guys that are into especially road course racing, some, I would imagine, wrench on their own cars, but others rather go out and buy a race-ready car and get out there on the track and go for it. And they get to a point where can't afford the team on a full-time basis, but I need somebody out there to help me, to support me at the race.
Right.
This is a great idea. How did it come about?
So started off with a driver who, as you said, was looking for some support. So, he got addicted to motorsport like most people do. And then they ended up, working out of his garage, and one thing led to another, and a couple more guys joined the gang, and 2 years later we got a 15,000 square foot workshop, which we help people out who, as you said, haven't got the time. Some of them not the knowledge, although they love the cars and talking about them. So what we do is offer a service. The customer would drop their car off. We do a pre-track inspection. Fit new tyres, bleed the brakes, give it a spanner check or a wrench check, nut and bolt. Make sure we got the right fuel for the car, and then transport it to Cota in most cases. We're here pretty much every other week, and we offer the service. So the guy or girl will come along with and jump in the car. We have RVs and haulers, which the drivers use to get changed in. We do all the debriefing. We have coaches. So typically most drivers take a coach of ours, and then they work the sessions and trying to go quicker, and trying to improve their lap times and their lines on the circuit. And then once they've had a good weekend, 9 times out of 10, the car will come back to us, and we kind of rinse and repeat, really. So try and make it as easy as possible. It's more of a club as well now it's turned into. We're just slightly different this week, purely because the F1 garages are full and getting ready for the Grand Prix that's heading here on the 23rd, 22nd and 23rd. So we're out in the car park, and it's almost like a mini festival, people with their RVs and trucks all parked together. We got 22 cars here this weekend that we're looking after. So it's a little bit different, but also, we'll make the most of it and have fun. And again, people turn up with their families and their wives and girlfriends and kids all get chatting to each other. So it's a family affair, effectively.
So, Dave, let me just make sure that I understand this. You just got through saying and telling me that you have 22 cars. That goes way beyond a stable of cars that you're managing out there today. How in the world do you manage to keep up with all that?
And how big is the crew you bring to support 22 cars?
So how do we manage to keep up is a good question. We're always looking for competent mechanics. We have a range of people here. So one of my kind of ethics would be we want to train people up. It's really important. I've done 36 years of motorsport, and I learned a lot along the way. and I wanted to kind of inject that into to this business. So we're always looking for young, enthusiastic people, which we train. And then we have a myriad of experience within the team. So we've got people that worked in Indy cars, we've got people that work in NASCARs and F1, and also IMSA and GT championships. So we try and keep up. We're almost employing someone every 2 months currently. We're kind of up to 16 permanent staff. And then when it comes to how many staff and what staff we do, typically each car will have one tech on it. Then we have a coach for the majority of the drivers, and then we have like a chief mechanic, crew chief if you like, and also an engineer that sort of oversees all the cars and all the setting changes. So one of the biggest things that people tend to get wrong at the start of it is making sure that the tyre pressures are correct. And again, that can make the car understeer, oversteer, slide, roll the tyre off the rim. So we get the basics right first, which is the tyre pressures. And then once we've moved on from there, we then start looking at the driving styles, etc. So typically one person per car, so probably 1.25 people per car. And that's kind of how we roll each weekend. We do a huge amount of stuff at Harris Hill on every Wednesday. So a lot of the customers are obviously successful guys and girls. And when they can anytime they can get out, they like to run. So we do Harris Hill. We also do Crescent and MSR Houston as well.
So when you talk about you have, let's take it down to one person per car, with that, when you have a range of different cars, I'm sure you have people that are bringing Porsches, some people are bringing Corvettes, some people are bringing Camaros, Mustangs, Miatas. Are the people that you assign to those cars experienced in that brand, or are they just experienced in the racing management of the car? Because different cars are going to require a different level of knowledge of how the setup works.
Yes, so quite an interesting question. Typically the staff that we have got a pedigree in motorsport, so which is you can fix anything and you can run anything. We do have guys that have experience in the sort of GT championships. So Ferrari, Lamborghini. We've got some LMP3 cars. So we have people that have qualifications in those cars. But a lot of it is just racing and kind of, best experience from the past, really, with the radicals. So
in general, yeah.
Also, the other thing is we do run a lot of the systems, so we have a lot of the software to fault find the codes that we get thrown. But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you'll turn up and the car will go round and round in circles, and you'll just change the tyres, and fuel it up.
Yep. Do you have a particular car or race division that you mainly focus on just because more people have that kind of car?
Yes, so we take part in the North American Radical Championship, and we had at COTA we had 10 cars entered into the race. So that's typically what we do. We also do a GT invitation, so we got a couple of AMG GT3s that we enter into that, and some challenge Ferrari cars as well. But the main kind of race series for us is Radical North America.
Okay.
Do you also, in your shop, where is your shop located?
So our shop's in Buda, which is exit 219 on the 35.
Gotcha.
So
yep.
Out there near the Salt Lick.
Excuse me?
Out there near the Salt Lick barbecue place.
Correct, yes. Yeah, pass it every day on the way to work.
Smells it too.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you find yourself actually doing more work on these cars once you get a client that they send them over to you and, look, you just take care of my car for me? Do you get more work like that out of getting hired for maybe one race or two?
Yes, it's really interesting. So, the way it's pretty organic, really, the growth. So, I'll give you an example today. So we turned up, we have our 22 cars. there was a Ferrari that went past me, and it looked like a speedboat. You know, it was heading like this past me. So I went up to the guy. I didn't know him. I said, look, looks like you got a puncture or the car's not set up right. It's a brand new Ferrari. No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's good. I said, okay. And then he came back to me and he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, you know, it's got reverse rake. You know, the front of the car's off the ground. So anyway, long and short of it was, I said, tell me the story of what happened to the car before it got here. Well, we had it done in LA. A shop changed the springs on it. And I said, okay, there we go. So that's probably the door cracked open. And then we found out that they'd put the wrong springs on the back of the car, and they're on the front. So, you know, the front of the car was raised in the air, therefore, you know, not handling and touching the ground as it was going around the circuit. Yeah. So he's got his 300 grand car.
High speed wheelies.
Yes, porpoising down the straight. So anyway, we, you know, he's like, oh, can I have your number? You know, what do you guys do type thing? And that's pretty much how our business works. And then, you know, in lieu of the question that you asked is, we kind of have an open menu. So it depends, you know, someone might come in and say, I want everything done on my car. And then we have customers that just fly in. We look after their car, we store it, and the only thing they want is a new set of tyres and supply the gas, and then they run it themselves. So the menu's quite extensive, really. You know, you can build it how you want. So it fits into your budget and also fits into how much fun you want to have at the track.
So you brought, as your team brought 22 cars there, or some of the people bring their own car and you just support them when they get there? You hauled in 22 cars today?
Yeah, so two out of the 20 out of the 22 we brought. The others were driven by the customers.
Wow.
So
that's got to be a fun car haul.
I was just going to say that would be multiple car haulers, and I can't even imagine the logistics of trying to get all of that iron from one point to another point and try to keep everything straight. Well, I will volunteer. I'll be your T-shirt salesperson at these races. Because I know that's going to be next on the list. Well, you know, a fan trailer.
Yeah, he did say that he has young and enthusiastic folks. We're half of that.
Yeah, we're half of that. Yeah,
we're neither young, but we are enthusiastic.
Yeah, most definitely. So, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, we got a radical SR10 demo that we're doing. So we're trying to get as many people in the car. We got 5 sessions a day, and we're trying to sell cars. So radical SR10. Most of the clients and customers that are around here, once they get in them, they're addicted. Just purely because it's low to the ground, has a huge amount of downforce, and we'll do a 206 around Kota, so pretty fast. If you think a GT3 Cup car is in the 13s, 14s, so yeah, pretty quick.
Well, what is the price of something like that?
Kind of the SR3s start at around 130,000. The SR10's about 155.
So affordable to a person, obviously, that has the means, but also, I mean, it's not out of line. I mean,
but good luck talking about a race car.
You're talking about a 425 horsepower prototype-looking car. What's it weigh?
1,300 pounds.
With 425 horsepower.
God. It's a grown-up go-kart with a body on it.
And somebody that'll manage it for you. So all you got to do is show up and drop your butt in the seat.
So what kind of an engine does the thing have in it?
It's just got a 4-cylinder Ford turbo engine. So
you run an EcoBoost.
Yeah, so
425 horsepower.
Wow. Well, 425 horsepower out of a 4-banger turbocharged engine. That's a lot, my friend. I don't care who you are. We did a review earlier on the new Ford Bronco that has a little 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, and they're getting 300 horsepower out of that thing. And the trick to it is just getting the RPM in it. Once you get it off above 2,000 RPM, that thing will go like a tornado.
Hauling donkey.
Well, if you want to get the smaller car, because he'd mentioned the smaller car, their smaller car has a Suzuki Hayabusa 1300 cc and 1350 cc and a 1500 cc engine in them.
Wow.
So you talk about
How
screaming high RPM buzz bomb.
God, how much fun is that?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So you don't rent any of the race cars that you supply, do you?
Yeah, we do. So you can get a pre-owned Radical SR3 1500 or 1340 for, you can pick one up for 40 grand. And you can race it. You can race it in the series. You can do all the track days that happen around. But we have cars we can rent. We have SR3s and SR10s that can be rented out to anyone who wants to do track days or even go into racing.
What a great idea! Now, as a driver, do you have to be licensed in the series?
Ask certifications.
Yeah, you need a race license, but also you can get part of your qualifications through Edge Addicts or Chin for the amount of time you spent driving at the HPD days.
So that's really cool, because one of the problems I always thought you'd have, if you don't have a race car, how can you get a race license? So now you can go work with these guys and get a car that you can use to get your license to get wherever else you want to go.
That's
from
right.
there.
It'd be there's nothing cheap about racing any way you look at it.
But this is manageable cost.
And the fact that you can get into the series without actually having to step up and buy a car. You could rent a ride, so to speak, for the weekend to see if you really liked it. And after you liked it, well, hey, 40 grand will get you in the seat.
Yep.
And
that's a start.
And you own it.
That's cheap, though, for a race car.
It is.
But you could also rent different models to figure out which one you want.
You got all that, yeah. Well, this is a great idea. And how long have you been doing this, Dave?
I've been with Esses for 15 months.
And the company's 2 years old, I think you said earlier.
Yes, just over 2 years old. So.
Wow. Well, we're all impressed. We're trying to pick our jaws up off the ground going, what a great idea this is. Why didn't we think of that? And I know that you got your hands full, especially this weekend with 22 cars in your stable there that you're trying to keep competitive and support the effort there of all the drivers. Well, so what is your next event after this one?
We have another event at Harris Hill on Wednesday, which is demo days for our SR10. And then after that, we go to Crescent and Dallas. And then we are off to Cota again for the 30th and 31st. And then we have our final round of the Radical Cup, which is taking place in Sebring in Florida.
Oh, wow.
So we're going there to test on November the 5th. And then we have the race about 2 weeks later.
Well, there's nothing like being busy, huh?
No, it's good. It's great. And be nice to see you guys down at our shop one day or at a track day.
Hey, don't be surprised if we come knocking on the door. Dave, it's great talking to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with all of the plans that you've got this weekend up there, and we hope to run into you again soon. Again, it's Esses Racing. That's ESSES, Racing and Support. Dave, talk to you again soon, I hope.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I put their link on our
Buda,
Facebook page.
Texas. Mm-hmm. Buda.
Yeah.
Buda.
It's like rub your belly and pat your head.
Oh,
or
not
boy.
that.
Pat your head and
No,
rub your belly.
no.
How'd you like his Austin accent?
Yeah, I love
You
the
know
Austin
what?
accent.
There's two guests we had today with an English accent. Maybe
We should have had three, because
we-
Brian Redmond, if he just showed up, would have been the third one.
We all need to do